chemicals. I know, I think sometimes IPM scares a lot of people. They think, oh no, now we need to go organic and it doesn't work, we get a lot of skepticism. But the whole point of IPM is also to take it one step at a time. So I think some of the most important things that we need to remember is, like I said, plant health, root health, and then scouting. And then as we want to go into IPM, we take it step by step. So stage one will be to assess your existing chemical program. What type of chemicals are you using? Are they broad spectrum chemicals, or can you reduce it to chemicals that are more targeted and has a shorter lifetime? And then to follow the IRAC and FRAC guidelines, so not to use chemicals in the same group over and over and stimulating that pest resistance. And then substitute the active ingredients for the more targeted ingredients and ingredients that has a shorter life cycle, that doesn't have such a long impact on the environment. The second stage would be to keep your chemical frame, but then to integrate it with biology. So then we come in with our biopesticides and our biofungicides at critical points in our program. And then later on, hopefully, as everything goes well, we will have a biological frame integrated with chemicals, and we only come in with the chemicals when needed. And in this way, we also ensure that we don't build up resistance against chemicals. We've seen a lot of people who do this when they have a biopesticide or a biofungicide frame. The chemicals tend to work better when they are actually used, when they are used for when it's actually needed. Once again, part of this is keep on monitoring, do your prevention methods, keep on monitoring to see if it works, and then only come in with your interventions when needed. And know your options. We have different cultural control options, biological control options, and chemical options. So go and look out for the options that are available to you and those that will be practical on your farm. So, for example, your cultural control methods will include using resistant cultivars, crop rotation, sanitation, preventing overwatering once again, and preventing over-fertilization. And ensuring ventilation, especially in your greenhouses. Some of your diseases will actually thrive when you don't have ventilation in the area. That will also include pruning your plants so that you can get contact and good ventilation in between the plants. Your biological control options may include your microorganisms and viruses. We specialize in a few of those, and make sure that you use the ones that are specifically targeted to your problem. Using beneficial insects, using cover crops and trap crops. These are both to sustain the microbial life in the soil, as well as your beneficial insects that live in the area. And then push-pull strategies are some examples of your biological control. In your chemical control, you get naturally derived chemicals that are a bit softer, and they don't have such a long lifespan and effect on the environment. You can get your selective product, those with a short residual effect, and then you get your hard chemicals for when you really need the big guns when the pest gets out of hand. And then, of course, use your IRAC and your FRAC guidelines. So when do we use biology and organic pesticides? When do we decide to bring them in? Where can we risk it? We usually come in when we still have a low threshold period, when that pest is still at low enough levels that it's not making an economic impact on our farm. So we use it as a sort of a more preventative measure. Also, in resistance management, those two examples is the tuta and the DBM. We struggle with chemical resistance. By integrating biological pesticides, we can actually reduce that resistance. We come in with a different mode of action so that the chemicals, whenever we actually need them, they work more efficiently. And then many of your biological and organic products have little to zero post-harvest intervals, which means you can literally, like they say, spray today and eat tomorrow. So that's it, especially when you're struggling with something closer to harvest, you can come in with some of your biologicals before harvest. And then, of course, many of our beneficial biological products don't harm our beneficials. So in order to protect the beneficials so that they can still do work for us on the farm, we come in with products that won't affect them but only affect the next. And then something you guys need to remember is that one size does not fit all. As I said in the beginning, IPM is integrating all the tools that we have available to suit your farm, to suit your problem. It's not going to be the same recipe from farm to farm to farm. So that's what we specialize in. We come to the farm, we see what the problem is, we see what the situation is, and what's practical to you, and work around that. Okay.